Dear child, I'm speaking to you now from a calm, steady place, beyond fear, beyond confusion, beyond rushing. I want you to slow down for a moment and listen with your heart, not just your ears. You did not come across this message by accident. There is a reason it reached you now. Your soul has been quietly asking questions that words couldn't fully shape. And even when you tried to stay strong on the outside, something inside you has been searching for reassurance, truth, and clarity. I see the quiet moments you carry alone. I see the thoughts that surface late at night or in still moments when no one is watching. I see how you keep moving forward, even when answers feel delayed and clarity feels just out of reach. What I'm sharing with you now is not meant to rush you, pressure you, or overwhelm you. It is meant to gently realign you with what is already unfolding, so your heart can soften instead of staying guarded. Your soulmate has just received good news, and that news is directly connected to you, not in a symbolic or distant way, not in a vague or imaginary sense, but in a real and tangible way that has shifted something inside them. This news came after a long period of inner struggle. They have been wrestling with doubt, questioning whether love as deep and genuine as the one you carry truly exists. They were caught between hope and self-protection, unsure whether to open their heart again or retreat into emotional safety. What they received broke through that internal wall. It confirmed what their heart already knew, but their mind kept challenging. It showed them that the connection they feel with you is not imagined, not one-sided, and not something they can ignore forever. This realization didn't come lightly. It required honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to face their own fears. You may not have heard from them yet, and that is intentional. This awareness is still settling into them. Right now, they are reflecting deeply. They are replaying memories, noticing patterns, and recognizing how often their thoughts circle back to you. They are beginning to understand that you were never just a moment in their life, never just a passing feeling. You left an imprint on their spirit, and that imprint hasn't faded with time or distance. They are also realizing that the delays, the silence, and the distance were not punishment. They were preparation. You are not late, and they are not late. Divine timing does not move according to impatience or pressure. It moves according to readiness and alignment. The good news they received wasn't just information. It was reassurance that this bond is protected from confusion, from outside interference, and from repeating old cycles that would only bring pain. That is why you may have felt a subtle shift recently, even if you couldn't explain it. That is why your dreams may feel more vivid, your emotions more sensitive, and your intuition sharper than usual. Your soul sensed the change before your mind could make sense of it. You are not being tested right now. You are being positioned. There is a difference between delay and denial, and what you experienced was never denial. This connection is part of a larger purpose. It goes beyond romance alone. It involves growth, healing, and transformation for both of you. Your soulmate's good news wasn't about convenience or escaping loneliness. It was about responsibility and readiness. They were shown that real love requires courage, and that choosing you means choosing honesty, consistency, and authenticity. That realization carries weight, which is why they are moving thoughtfully instead of impulsively. You may have wondered why you had to grow so much before things could align. The truth is, your strength is required for what is coming. You were never meant to shrink yourself to be loved. You were never meant to chase or prove your worth, and they were never meant to meet you halfway. This is not about two people trying to complete each other. This is about two whole souls meeting with clarity and intention. Right now, circumstances are being adjusted on both sides. Distractions are being removed. Old attachments are loosening. You may notice people drifting away, conversations ending naturally, or priorities shifting without force. This is not loss. This is alignment. Space is being made for what truly belongs. Your soulmate is also gaining clarity about what they must release in order to step forward honestly. Patterns that no longer fit who they are becoming are coming into focus. You are not waiting for nothing, and you are not imagining the pull you feel. It is real, and it is mutual. Even if it hasn't been spoken yet, it exists. Your task right now is not to predict every next step or analyze every sign. Your confirmation will not come through anxiety. It will come through peace. When movement happens, it will feel steady, not rushed. It will feel clear, not confusing. It will feel grounded, not chaotic. You are being asked to trust without trying to control outcomes. This doesn't mean ignoring discernment. It means releasing the need to force clarity before the time is right. Your role is not to chase, but to remain open, not to obsess, but to stay receptive. Something has been activated in your soulmate that cannot be undone. A certainty has been planted, and certainty grows quietly. They are beginning to see you not just as someone they desire, but as someone they deeply respect. That matters more than passion alone. Desire can fluctuate, but respect creates consistency. Respect is what keeps love steady when emotions rise and fall. This is why patience now is protecting the future you are stepping into. You are being approached energetically before you are approached physically. You do not need to prove your worth. It has already been recognized. You do not need to compete with anyone. This connection is specific and intentional. You are allowed to trust what feels aligned, even if logic tries to interfere. Your intuition is guiding you gently, not misleading you. The next phase will not demand perfection. It will require honesty. It will require presence, not performance. It will require maturity, not games. Continue caring for your inner world. Peace is your anchor right now. Speak kindly to yourself, because your thoughts are shaping the emotional space you are about to share with another person. You may notice your heart feels calm, but alert, as if something important is near, but not fully visible yet. That feeling is real. Your soulmate is still processing what they received, and it didn't just inform them. It reshaped their priorities. They are no longer asking whether they are ready for love in theory. They are asking whether they are ready to show up in truth. They are realizing that staying distant was not protection. It was loss. They are learning that avoidance is not peace and silence is not healing. Real strength is showing up honestly. Love does not demand perfection. It only asks for presence. You are not being compared to their past. The past no longer holds authority here. What lies ahead is not a replay, but a new chapter written with awareness. You have been preparing too, even if you didn't label it that way. Every time you chose healing over bitterness mattered. Every time you kept your heart open instead of closing it completely mattered. You weren't only learning how to love, you were learning how to receive love without fear. That is why you may feel less restless now, less tempted to chase answers, more grounded. This is growth. You are becoming centered, and centered people attract, align, love naturally. You are allowed to live fully while alignment unfolds. Joy does not delay love. It strengthens you. Your soulmate is understanding that they must meet you where you are now, not where you were before. That understanding encourages growth instead of avoidance. Soon, you may notice small but meaningful movement, a message, an invitation, a change in tone, a sincerity that feels different than before. When it happens, you will recognize the steadiness in it. Peace is the signal you are looking for, not intensity. Intensity can exist without direction, but peace carries clarity. Breathe. Release the need to know every detail right now. Trust does not require full visibility, only alignment. You are not behind. You are right on time. The good news has already been delivered, and the next steps are forming quietly but surely. Stay present. Stay calm. Stay true to who you are becoming. Your soulmate is stepping into emotional accountability, no longer blaming timing, circumstances, or the past for hesitation. They are facing themselves, and that is the doorway to real, lasting love. They are fully owning what they feel now, and that ownership is changing the way they move through this connection. When someone stops denying their desire, their behavior naturally becomes calmer, clearer, and more intentional. That is why the good news they received did not create emotional chaos or impulsive reactions. Instead, it brought clarity, and clarity is powerful because it removes confusion. When confusion dissolves, responsibility takes its place. Responsibility then leads to action that is thoughtful rather than reactive. This is not about rushing or forcing outcomes. It is about choosing actions that are grounded, measured, and aligned with truth instead of fear. They are beginning to understand that love is not something to approach only when life feels perfect or when every doubt has disappeared. Love is entered through honesty, not perfection. Honesty is the real foundation, and that foundation is being built now. This process may feel subtle, but it is steady. You may notice that even on days when nothing seems to change externally, there is a quiet sense of assurance growing within you. That inner assurance is not false hope or imagined comfort. It is alignment settling into place. It is your inner world stabilizing. Your soul recognizes when something meaningful is being prepared before it arrives. Your intuition understands timing in ways the mind cannot. You are no longer standing in the same uncertainty you once were. Your mind may still ask questions because the mind seeks certainty and explanation, but your heart already knows. There is a deeper knowing forming that does not rely on constant reassurance. This knowing is calm, grounded, and steady. It does not demand proof every day. It simply rests in trust. Your soulmate is becoming more aware of the emotional safety you provide. This is not because you are trying to control or manage the situation. It is because you are authentic. You are consistent in who you are. With you, they feel no pressure to perform or pretend. They sense that they can be fully seen without being judged or measured. This realization is softening defenses they once believed were permanent. Walls that once felt immovable are slowly losing their purpose. You are not being idealized or placed on a pedestal. You are being respected. That difference is essential because respect creates depth and longevity where attraction alone cannot. Attraction can be intense, but intensity without respect is unstable. It burns quickly and fades just as fast. Respect, on the other hand, creates safety. It allows love to mature rather than collapse under its own weight. This is why your connection is shifting out of fantasy and into grounded reality. It is becoming more real, more honest, and more sustainable. This transition requires patience, but what it produces is stability. And stability is something your heart has been preparing for. You are not being asked to put your joy on hold during this time. You are not being asked to wait in sadness or anxiety until everything resolves. Your joy right now is part of the preparation. Your peace is not a distraction from love. It is what makes space for healthy love to arrive without disruption. As a result, you may notice that your standards feel clearer than they once did. Your discernment has matured. You are no longer willing to accept half-effort, mixed signals, or emotional confusion. This is not harshness or impatience. It is self-respect. Your soulmate senses this shift. Even without words, they can feel the boundary you now carry. Instead of pushing them away, it challenges them to rise. They understand that approaching you now requires sincerity, honesty, and emotional presence. This understanding is reshaping their intentions. It is changing how they view the connection and how they plan to engage with it. What is forming between you reflects a balance between love and peace. Love without peace feels heavy and draining. Peace without commitment feels empty and unfulfilling. This connection is learning to hold both at the same time. As this continues, it is important for you to honor your boundaries without guilt. Boundaries are not walls meant to keep love out. They are clarity that allows healthy love to come closer. Your soulmate's next steps will reflect greater emotional availability. When communication happens, it will feel different from before. It will feel more present, more intentional, and more grounded. You will notice the difference without needing to analyze it. Allow yourself to receive without dissecting every word or moment. Trust consistency over isolated gestures. What lasts is revealed through patterns, not bursts of intensity. You are not meant to question your worth at this stage. Your worth is not waiting to be confirmed by someone else's actions. It is already established. The love approaching you is not here to test you or put you through another cycle of uncertainty. It is here to meet you where you are. You have already done the inner work that was required of you. You have already grown. Now alignment is completing what effort alone could not. Your soulmate is learning that vulnerability is not exposure to harm. It is access to truth. This lesson is changing how they show up emotionally. They are preparing to speak and act from clarity rather than confusion. There is no need to rush this process. What is real does not require chasing. It unfolds naturally when both people are ready to meet it honestly. This phase may feel quieter than earlier stages, and quiet phases are often misunderstood. Quiet does not mean stagnant. Quiet means focused. Quiet means decisions are being made internally. Your soulmate is no longer wrestling with the question of whether this connection matters. They are asking how to honor it correctly. That question signals readiness. Readiness does not always look like urgency. Often it looks like restraint, reflection, and intention. You may notice fewer emotional highs and lows within yourself lately. This is not disconnection. It is stabilization. Your nervous system is no longer responding from survival, but from safety. That shift is essential for what is approaching. Healthy love cannot grow in chaos. It needs steadiness and emotional presence. Your soulmate's good news included reassurance that choosing love does not mean repeating old wounds. They are realizing that this connection operates differently because both of you have changed. Old patterns no longer apply here. This is not the same dynamic with a different face. It is a new structure built on awareness. You are no longer attracting from lack. You are attracting from alignment, and alignment changes the quality of what arrives.